Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. You just heard me and Tony.
Yeah.
And we've got a good show because
Why?
In studio, we've got our friend Chase Gullett.
Oh, I was wondering who that was. I didn't recognize him.
Yes, and he's in the show not to talk about the things that you might think he would normally talk about.
Oh.
Because on the line as well, we have superstar guitar, Mr. Go ahead, say your name.
Hi, I'm John Page.
There you go. John Page Guitars. We are going to find out all the skinny on what's going on with that. And yes, it does have a little bit to do with Mr. Gullett sitting here. So we're going to hear from these two, mostly John, because, you know, Chase will just be nodding along and throw in some color. You'll be the color guy, right?
Sure. Hairless color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little weird because Chase has a naked face, which is really weird.
My wife walked in on me right after I'd shaved.
Oh, I'm glad you finished that. Okay, good.
Yeah, right after I'd shaved, and I'm in there, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is the nakedest I've seen you in so long."
Yes.
So yeah. So I'm adjusting.
Yeah.
Yay, Katie.
Yay. So we have so much to talk about, everybody. We are going to have a great time. We're going to go through a couple of announcements real quick, and then we're going to get into what's going on in our music world this week. And, John, that includes not building guitars, okay? So you got to something having to do with your music. We'll get to you in a second. We're going to, when we hit that, we'll tee you up, okay?
Okay, sounds like a deal.
Excellent. A couple of announcements real quick. For our patrons, we had quite a nice surprise. One of our supporters on the show,
Oh, yes.
Mike Nazionale.
Mike Nazionale.
Yes. He sent a big box my way, and I was like, what's in the box? What's in the box? And fortunately, it wasn't that.
Step one.
Yeah. It was
Get your box.
It was a bunch of pedals and stuff. And he's just at a point in his life where he's like, hey, I want to move this stuff on, and I want you to do what you feel you need to do with it. So, anyways, we were really grateful to Mike. He is a sweetheart of a guy,
Yep.
And his head is in the right place. He's doing a lot of really great things right now. And just having to do with like kind of giving back to humanity, and that's needed right now. So thank you, Mike, for all that you've done for us and all that you're doing for others as well. Now, why does that matter to our patrons? Why, Tony? Why do you think?
I bet that we're going to distribute these to our patrons.
That's correct.
Via giveaways.
That is correct. We are going to give away a bunch of stuff, so you're going to see that coming pretty soon.
First, we have to inventory.
Yes.
And-
Yeah. Well, it's not like there's 100 of them or anything.
Well, there's like 2,000 in that box.
There is not, I assure you. But yeah, we've got
It's a very large box.
We got a good amount of stuff to give away. And look, just in fairness, it is used, but lightly. It's very lightly used stuff. But I don't know that matters. Does it matter? Do you think it
doesn't.
matters?
Not if it's free.
I don't think so. So thank you so much, Mike Nazionale, for sending that on our way. And best of luck to you and your new endeavors, my friend. Also, I wanted to, for anybody that hasn't seen it, if you're living under a Netflix rock, speaking of rock, the rockumentary,
if you will.
Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Ah, yes.
Wow. Really, really good.
That's one to
absolutely loved
watch.
it. All kinds of brand new footage from like the first 1 and 2 album touring era, but before, like stuff before they were even together. And interviews with each of the guys, all in the same like venue, but not together. I don't know why they didn't just put them. I don't know. Maybe it's schedules or whatever.
Do you know what the original name of Led Zeppelin was going to be? The New Yardbirds.
The New Yardbirds. Yes. Fortunately, they didn't stick with that.
No.
Anyways,
it was Keith Moon who said,
I,
this band will go over like a Led Zeppelin.
Yes, that is correct. And now, thanks for ruining everything, Tony.
See, you don't have to watch it
Spoiler
now.
alert.
Two most important things.
Really, really good stuff. I highly encourage you to watch it if you haven't already.
Yes.
Okay.
Watch it again if you already have.
Them's the announcements. Now, we need to find out what's going on in our music world this week. We're going to kick it off with Tanya Bolonsky sitting across from me in his svelte. You're like at a medium now, right?
Small.
Small.
I'm wearing smalls.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
Anyways.
it's a change.
Well,
Like
you
you're
know.
looking thin, man.
Well, I don't feel thin. But,
Yeah.
You know, it's all self-image, you know.
Yes. Yes.
I'll always
Nothing
be-
you can do about the face, but the
I'll
body's in great shape.
always be the fat kid that got made fun of. So there you go. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for noticing. Now you're going to call me skinny or slim or something like that. Thank you.
Not anytime soon. Anyways, Anyways,
Should I start?
Yes, go ahead and do that. And so we're gonna check in with Tony,
Okay.
and then we are going to check into Chase, and then John, and then myself. Okay,
That sounds good.
let's do it. Go.
So this past weekend, I went to see Ryan Adams. That's
Yeah.
Ryan, not Brian,
That's
summer
correct.
of '69. This is Ryan of Whiskeytown and the Cardinals. And I'd heard lots of. Well, no, I mean he's always entertaining,
Yes.
but he's a little bit prickly, shall we
Yes.
say? Prickly
Prickly.
Heavy
Heavy on the
indeed.
capital P.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, there have been times. Here's just one anecdote. Back in this is probably 20 years ago, someone in the audience kept yelling out "Summer of '69," which was a Bryan Adams song, and he walked off the stage and didn't come back. So, anyhow, Ryan has. I believe he's. I don't know how long sober, but he's doing well. He is suffering from Meniere's disease.
Who?
Meniere. It's a combination of tinnitus and losing hearing in one or both ears. And he also has epilepsy. So all over the venue, please no flash photography, because he has apparently had, episodes
Been
where
triggered.
Yeah, it can trigger things. Now the Meniere's disease affects his hearing. Like the first half hour of the show, and I knew something had to happen because I've been to this venue before and it's loud. The air conditioner is loud
Which one?
at the LC or Kemba Live.
Was it inside then? Because it
Inside.
was raining. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it was
bad weather.
meant to be an inside show.
Hot.
No, but he kept saying, "Does anybody hear that? Does everyone hear that?" And it was a certain frequency that air handler was humming, and he could not focus. And well, it's like you when I crinkle
It happens.
candy
It
wrap.
happens in restaurants and lots of other places.
Yeah.
I get the same thing.
Yeah, and he was just like, I'm sorry, folks. I want to give you the best show that I can, and he said, but this is, you don't understand. This is all I hear, and I can't hear my guitar. I can't hear my voice.
Yeah.
So, and to me, I mean, he played one of my least favorite Ryan Adams albums because it's its 25th anniversary, his first one, Heartbreaker. But it's still a hard album to listen to, and it's even harder to listen to live. It's
Hard album to listen
I mean,
to, which launched him into stardom.
The title is appropriate because it's songs of pain and suffering and heartbreak.
Yeah.
So he sounded great to me. I mean, his
Yeah.
voice, he sounded awesome. His guitar playing has improved dramatically over the years, and it ended up being a great show. And it was a very low key show.
Probably won the audience over a little bit with that, I imagine.
I think it was, yeah, and of course towards the end of the show, someone took a flash photo and he reprimanded them, but you know, he was, after he got through complaining about the things and he kind of got into the swing of things, it turned into a really, really good show. And the one thing, you know, this is the one comeback that I'm going to have to remember, because there's some idiot in the audience said, "You suck!"
Wow.
And Ryan says, "Then why are you here?" So then remember that one.
Yeah.
And you know, so but you know, he was very personable, I guess is the way you would put it. He told some oddball stories and things like that. So it was an entertaining
He's
evening.
a troubadour.
Yeah. Yes, he was a troubadour.
You expect that.
Still is a troubadour.
Yeah.
And but that, and then there were two songs that they did kind of electrified and totally unnecessary. I mean, he could have just carried this, you know, just with him on the acoustic.
Yeah.
But all in all, great show. And I mean, you know, I respect him for persevering through a lot of those personal tragedies and the sicknesses and things.
Yeah.
So
Heavy duty, man.
Yep.
Chase, what's going on in your music world, man?
So Friday night, I actually got to see my coworker Isaiah's band for the first time live. It was kind of cool. It was, they played a venue called Passenger Rail. It's in Marion. It's attached to what used to be the warehouse. So it's an old like train station. And they've got this whole like outdoor, indoor stage set up out there. It's really nice. No, they sounded great. That was my Friday night show.
What kind of music?
Nobody yelled they sucked, though.
No.
Bluegrass.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was actually our first time at that venue under the ownership currently, so it was kind of nice to get out there. We tried the restaurant that's attached to it. Food was good, and music was good.
Nice.
Just a
And
good
the
evening.
wine was delicious.
I wouldn't know about that one.
Did they have waffles?
No, that's another restaurant that we've got downtown. So that's Bears Marcella's waffles and bacon, man, best breakfast.
Waffles and bacon. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, they do this like fresh fruit, and then it's like a little like sugar
you lost
crisp on
Tony
the
on that
waffle.
one.
Oh no, they're so good, so good.
Why would you put fruit on a waffle? Give me an egg and bacon.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And,
excellent.
Also, kind of not necessarily exactly last week, but
Oh yeah.
so
Todd turned me on to some cool stuff.
well, we're going.
Yes.
So anybody in the vicinity, or if you like this band, and you're not aware that they're going to be out. We got tickets to All Them Witches, who's going to be coming in at Newport down here in Columbus,
It's December, right?
December 3rd.
And you saw that Henry Cash and Starcrawler are coming back to Columbus.
Yes, and yeah, there might be some more developments.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Anyways,
You guys should
anyways,
stop by the shop.
all the good stuff. Yeah. Let's see, John. How about yourself?
All I do is work.
Oh.
You guys got all this fun stuff.
No,
Seriously, just lots of working right now. I've got I'm working on a documentary on my Retablo, my latest art guitar, and that's taken a lot of time. And I spent the last few days setting up photo shoots in Los Angeles in a couple of weeks and recording sessions, and so yeah, I'm just doing that, and then lots of work with the guitars.
awesome.
Working on some matte Mueling prototypes today and then the rest of the week, and yeah, I don't go out much and see music anymore. Don't play out anymore. So I did watch a little bit of A Hard Day's Night the other night, though. I found that was cool.
Oh,
It was on Prime, I guess I found it. So I love that show. I hadn't seen it in a long time, so that was fun to watch that.
are you a vinyl collector at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Oddly enough, I don't listen to
Probably
music
get that
much
question
anymore.
a lot, huh?
Well, because I know it sounds like BS that I work all the time, but I do. So my head's always like working.
Yeah.
It's just, maybe it's a designer thing. I don't know, artist thing, whatever. It's just my head's always clicking.
Yeah.
So I can't have music playing when I work. even the old days at the Custom Shop and stuff, I told them I got no piped music. Everybody had their own Walkmans back there and stuff, you know. And because I think it's a very personal thing how you work and think and process things. And for me, it's I'm always in my head.
That's a second ambulance today. Yeah, Pete got his Walkman tied up in the lathe.
That'll happen.
Pete, I'm sorry. I wasn't making fun.
Oh, poor Pete.
Yes. Well, for me.
What about you, Todd?
Thank you, Tony. I got to. So it was my. I was supposed to go to the show with Tony Boney.
Yeah.
Here, but it was my anniversary weekend. So boys, gentlemen's.
Nice.
You got to
do good
that right.
things.
And we were having a great weekend. And then my pal Joey Callio from Seven Horse and Dada, who's also been on the show in the past, is going to come on again. He was in town. He goes, "Hey, man, I got your name at the door if you want to come down and see the show and hang out." And I got that one. I was dress shopping with my wife. So she's going to a very posh wedding in California, and so we were looking at it, and she's like, "You should go to that," which was her code for I need a break. So I
need some me time.
Yeah,
Stop smothering me.
Yeah. So I scooted out and met up and had a great show, and it was just cool because, man, they had they're going through two bands and multiple eras, and there's so much switcherooing going on with guitars and
So was it Seven Horse or
Seven Horse? And they were also playing some Dada songs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And it was a great show and great energy and it was cool after just sit down, hang and talk with a friend. And we talked about all his new gear and everything he was using on stage and everything and how the tour's going and they're having massive big bus troubles and all that stuff. And then we started talking about, because right across the venue is arguably the best record store in the Midwest for sure, Used Kids. And I said, "You had time to go to," he's like, "Uh-huh." So we talked about records and all that, 'cause he's got a massive collection. So
Nice.
it was great fun. Really enjoyed myself. So we both got to have a little live music action and
Cammie didn't want to go to the show, huh?
she did not.
Huh.
Which is crazy because she actually likes the band. I think she was just pooped. So I caught.
Well, dress shopping will take that out of
Yeah, I got there late because we were doing dinner and all that stuff, and I'm not going to bail on that. So, anyways, let's motor on. Okay, we've gone through that, and we are going to get into the interview part right now, everybody. Let's get into the guts of your own businesses and the merging thereof, so to speak. Or however you guys want to phrase that is, completely up to you. So let's see. John, you haven't been on before, so Chase has told his story, a couple times, but would you mind enlightening people on who you are and what your past endeavors have been that have led you to where you are now?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. I have started building my first guitars over 53 years ago or so now. I went to work at Fender on my 21st birthday. I became a model maker within 3 months in research and development there. And that's when I first started working with Freddie Tavares and Greg Wilson and all the original, designers that were of that era. At 23, I was made the youngest guitar designer at Fender, so that was pretty bitchin'.
Nice.
Shared an office with Freddie. Used to go to lunch with Leo and George Fullerton and, all the old guys. And so I was, really lucky to be part of that original, the generation that was still had contact with the original Cat. So that was pretty neat. My first guitar design ever released for Fender was the Gullett. It was also my first patent. That's the one that had the metal pickguard, one-piece metal pickguard and bridge combo. And from there, I was the engineer on the designer project for the entire Vintage Reissue series, with the exception of the 52 Telly. That was Freddie. All the collector's editions, just all kinds of stuff. For 9 years, I was R&D designer. Let's see, 1987, I was the co-founder of the Fender Custom Shop with Michael Stevens. So we started that shop, just the two of us. And
what was the genesis of that?
Well, the genesis of that was even in the early days of Fender in the 70s and stuff, when I was working there in the early 80s. As a model maker, we would be making artist guitars all the time. I was doing stuff for the Cars and the Go-Go's, Frank Zappa.
I love the Cars.
I'm thinking of all these cats we worked with way back then, right? They would want something unique and different, and Fender didn't do it. So it was something that we would do in research and development in the model shop, because I was making guitars, anyway, for whatever Freddie and Greg came up with, or for that matter, I was turning drumsticks for the Rogers drums, or making, keyboard harnesses for Rhodes pianos. We had everything back then. So in the model shop, it was me and one other model maker, and we would make whatever the engineers, designers would come up with first, before it would go into production. And so even back then, we had made a pitch, myself, a couple of model makers that worked for me, and John Sermonero, who was the Rogers drum designer at the time, had made a pitch to CBS to start a custom shop back then. And this would have been, I don't know, 84, maybe, something like that, 83. And had pitched for the custom shop, and they said, nah, we're not going to do that. And so that kind of got killed. And then shortly thereafter, CBS sold us. And Bill Schultz and his investors, put a group together. I was fortunate enough to become one of them, and within a couple of years, and we bought the company. And we started over for that point. At that point, when the factory and everything shut down and we moved out to Corona, the custom shop seemed like a good way to kind of resurrect, Fender from the CBS debacle, and kind of the Phoenix Rising kind of a deal. And so that's why Michael Stevens and I started the shop then. We had actually hired Dan Smith before I took a hiatus. When did I take a hiatus? 86. I took a short hiatus to work in the studio, and my last hurrah before I turned 30. And so before I left, we had hired George Blanda to start the custom shop. George Blanda Jr., the son of the football player, who is an excellent builder. But when I left, Dan gave him the choice. Well, you can either go ahead and do the custom shop or take John's spot, since John's leaving. So he chose to take my R&D gig. And then after, I don't know, half a year or so is when they decided, well, let's go ahead and do this custom shop after all. And so they got a hold of Mike Stevens, and I got a hold of them, said, hey, I'm looking at coming back. They said, hey, we hired Mike, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, Mike and I are starting the custom shop, and working out of his garage for the first 6 months until we got our shop set up in Corona. And cool. Like total Little Rascals shit, just like, my mom can make costumes. My dad's got a barn, kind of a thing, and we're going to put on a show.
I love that.
And it was really cool. We made our the first benches we made. We went through the factory, and there was all the black walnut we had left over from the Walnut Collector's series that I had done in like early 80s. And so we took a bunch of that walnut, made walnut workbenches and stuff, and
Nice.
all in Mike's
That's
garage.
all that grows
Fancy as
here is
hell.
just like
Yeah.
force of that stuff.
Yeah, well, American black walnut. Yeah, absolutely. But and then we started the custom shop, and it was just Mike and I. And over the 12 years I was there and running the place, I think it had grown to 65 guys by the time I left. And it was great. We did all kinds of stuff. Did cool art pieces with Harley Davidson and Playboy, and went from, maybe a couple guitars a month to, I think we were doing 28 guitars a day, custom shop. And had wood carvers and leather workers, and worked with every artist there was that ever played a Fender, basically, at that era. And it was awesome. I mean, guys would come in, Cesar Rosas would come in with a 6-pack of beer on a Saturday, and we'd sit around and figure out what kind of lefty to make for him. And then Billy Gibbons would pull up in one of his hot rods with Abba Zaba Bards and Daz root beer, and hot sauce for me. He always knew I liked hot sauce, so he'd bring me hot sauce. And Abba Zabas and Dads for the guys, and we'd figure out guitars for him. And it was pretty. I mean, it was like, it was just freaking awesome. It was like a rock and roll boys and girls club kind of a deal,
That's man. Is there one specific, I guess maybe model or particular build that when you're falling asleep at night, you go like, yeah, I made that.
Well, that's what I do now.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would say, let's see, there were so many really cool things we did back then. I loved doing the Harley project just because of the history of it. I loved doing the Playboy guitar because of the history of
the
it.
articles.
Yeah, because of the articles.
Only the articles.
The only reason. That's why we painted the articles on the guitar. Oh man, I mean, I got to work with the Jeffrey Lawson, who was the head of styling for Jaguar automobiles on a guitar. That as a designer, and Jaguar as being like holy grail of automobiles, that was like, other than Delahaye's, I was like, holy shit, and this guy, we're designing in the office together. So there's all kinds of experiences like that were amazing. But I think that I don't think the guitars are anywhere near as important as the team and everything. Mm-hmm. That was what was so cool. It was just all these knuckleheads working together and creating the shop that was a battle, and it didn't make any sense really from a business point of view. And we just worked our butts off and stupid hours, and we'd sleep on the racks, and we'd make breakfast in the morning and do stupid stuff just to make it,
Well, is it fair to maybe, as a lay person like myself, assume that, because I'm in marketing, so I know it probably, from a quote unquote business standpoint, it didn't make any sense, but that's probably the stuff that got tons of hype and got in all the artists' hands, which drove quote unquote business. Is that? No,
in fact, you're absolutely right. And in fact, I had to use that argument more than once to justify our existence. After the first couple of years and stuff, taking in stacks of magazines and videos and saying, okay, here's about $2 million worth of advertising we got, last year for free because of what we're doing. Let's not worry about our margins so much right now, So yeah, the marketing really is what, it helped the company to me. And maybe I'm biased, but it breathed new life into the company. Mm-hmm. It was floundering after the CBS, crappy product and everything that was going on. And the sale, there was no money, and there was, and people were disappointed with the product. And all of a sudden, these two knuckleheads in the back that, 40 that are starting to build some cool guitars start getting recognized by artists. All of a sudden, you're working with Clapton, you're working with Beck, you're working with these cats. Everything starts coming back. And it helped bring all the rest of the product line, with us. And then that helped, as that went on, I ended up taking over guitar research and development as well with Custom Shop, because we could react to things so quickly, right? An artist comes in, wants something, we can build them something, and I could turn that right around into R&D for a factory product, and hopefully catch a market trend, when it's just starting, as opposed to when it's peaking or on the downside.
Do you have an example of that, out of curiosity?
I wish I had.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
yeah, the only thing that comes to mind off the top of my head was a stupid little bass called the JP90, and it was just because we couldn't call it the PJ, and I designed it, so then it turns in the JP, and then it goes, oh, it's named after you, and it's like, no, it was just we couldn't legally use PJ, but anyway, it was just a little modern cheapy bass that I could introduce real quick, and I think we even did it in Mexico real quick. And it was one of those just real quick flips. There was another one that Mark Kendrick designed when I had put him into the bass, into R&D, and I can't remember which bass model it was. But another kind of a deal where we just needed to really address some base market things that we were able to quickly flip, like real immediate. When I left, the schedule for R&D, that was given to marketing was a 2-year waiting list from,
Wow.
a request to production.
Wow.
You can't do that. You can't, that. You're in marketing.
Yeah.
You can't say, I got this great idea. Okay, well, that will be 2029.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's going to be a wowzer.
Yeah. And people don't understand, like, that takes huge scale to, just like a car model. Car
Right.
model, they don't think of the car model the year before. That doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, you have to have the time, but, and the factory has to have the time to tool up and be prepared for it and all of that. But, it was, I mean, I probably went too quick with a lot of stuff just because I felt it needed to be addressed at the time. And so when it slowed down later on, I'm sure that was a good thing for a lot of, for a lot of projects, but, yeah.
Okay. Well, and that brought you to now where, I remember going into Chase's shop one Saturday, as I often do, and he had this weird energy going on, and I'm like, what's up, dude? and he said, okay, man, you can't, this is so super duper, like, I can't even tell you. I'm like, wait, can't you tell me? You tell me everything. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you. I'm like, oh, this has got to be good. And later on, he finally revealed it to me. And it was really exciting to hear. And now I got to meet you, John, a couple weeks ago, and been watching this thing evolve. But so bring us to the now, John.
Okay, so I'm going to have to back up a little bit then, because
Yes.
I left you at Fender Custom Shop.
Yes.
I left Fender Custom Shop in '98. I became the executive director of the Fender Museum of the Arts Foundation, which was loosely related to Fender, but it was a kids education program, museum, education facility deal I put together. Then I moved up to my place in Oregon. That was 20 plus years ago, and started working on my art furniture. And then after a couple of years, went back to, I opened up John Page Guitars, so my custom guitar business. So next year will be 20 years on that. 10 years ago, I was approached to start this concept of John Page Classic, which was a production version of my guitars. Because I didn't want to do production. I didn't want to hire employees. I just wanted to build my own customs. High dollar, one-offs, a couple dozen a year kind of a deal, and that was it. In the last couple years, we have restructured. And so now we've got kind of I hate to use the word relaunching, but we can call it relaunching this project. And our marketing director, Brian, found Chase out of the blue because he's from Ohio. And it was like, first time I met Chase, it was like just on, Zoom. I was like, oh, yeah, this is the cat. Yeah. I want this guy building my guitars. And it was, and it just kind of happened. We had other builders doing it. We had done, I think the first 5 years or so, I had them built by a factory I'd worked with for years in Japan. And that was working out fine, but we wanted to bring it to the States. And, it was around the time COVID and everything just kind of went weird. And then meeting Chase was like, yeah, okay, let's go this route. Our marketing and the whole team kind of decided at some point to put the classic concept a little further in the background, because that was like a lower dollar version of my designs. And the idea was to come up with Signature Line, which is real, as close as anything's ever been to my hand builds without me building them. And that's where Chase and his team came in. And he's killing it. It's like, it's great. It feels, and I told Chase this, and it felt like when I was there a couple of weeks ago, it feels like my old days at the custom shop, where I had this great group of master builders that I'm working with that are creating. Only difference is they were creating Fender designs there, and now they're building mine. So,
No, that was
That's
an
where we
awesome
are.
experience. Actually, the kids still talk about that. Well, the team, I
yeah,
always call
yeah.
they're all kids.
Yeah, those 6-year-olds can
Yeah.
really sand wood.
Need I remind you of child labor laws?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
There are none.
No, that's why they're affordable. Come on.
Yeah.
And replaceable.
So, how many models are in the classic line?
Well, right now there's 3. There is the AJ, the Ashburn, and the DL. All of them are named after my family. The Ashburn is my daughter Ashley. Her nickname was Burner, so Ashburn. AJ is Adam John, and the DL is Dana Lee, my wife.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, well, it's like the first one. When I started my company, I started the first guitar was the P1. I don't know what to change. It was called the P1, Page One.
Mm-hmm.
And my furniture company before that was called Page One. So I figured, okay, Page One is working. And then it was just kind of like, no, let's name it after my family, And so something that means something to me, like because your designs are your kids. It's like songwriting, right? It's like you write a song. It's like your kid when somebody says they're ugly, you don't like it. It's like, yeah. I'm going to take you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and so it's those 3 models right now that we're working off of. But then there's variations of that model. Like we've been working with Noah Levine with the DL, and I built a baritone version of it for him with a Bigsby and 2 P90s. And
that is a great baritone.
It's a fun little Barry. In fact, I got the second proto on my bench right now because I'm switching the pickups out. We're trying to dial in exactly what Noah wants. And because when I first did it with P90s, and then he decided he wanted to go with this with a mini humbucker that a buddy of his makes. So we're going back to giving that one a shot, and working with on the Ashburn. We have the standard Ashburns, but then we're developing a model for Matt Mueling, who's just crazy good. And so I'm working on that right now, and we hope to release that in first of the year, probably NAMM show. That's going to be our release in that market.
I think as when guitar builders, especially dare I say boutique guitar builders, are putting together something, as players and enthusiasts, we always quote want something different.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't make it too different, because then it's weird and wacky, and I don't know what to do. It's kind of a weird thing. And when people successfully take familiar notes from things that we know well, but are still able to develop them into unique instruments that feel more like they want to feel, rather than just, well, I got to have this shape because that's the only one out there. I think that is, I always applaud that. To me, that's like a real success when someone's able to do that really well. And the fact that we still have builders coming up with, like, how did you take something that is so familiar and put your own spin on it successfully and own it?
That's been my design mantra pretty much my entire career. Uniquely familiar. I mean, you said both words in your little intro to it.
Yeah.
That's you can look at my site, even you'll see that phrase quoted, because that's my mantra. Because you got to figure, I designed for Fender for over 20 years, right?
Right.
So you have to do what they do. In fact, when I went outside of those lines, like things like the Performer, and it was like, what the hell is this? It's sacrilege,
Awesome.
And it lasts a year and it goes away. And it's cool because now they're the Gullett and the Performer and some of the whack it is like, wow, it's collectible now. Isn't that cool? It's what weird were they doing? And so it's fun from that point of view. But so there's things I love about the Fender designs, right? I mean, and there's a reason why they're still popular after 50, 60, 70 years, because there's things that are hard to change. But being a designer for them for also so long, it was like, I have too much respect for them to copy their product. That's the easiest thing to do, because the easiest thing is to just, oh, I'll put a different bridge on it or something. But keep the lines the same because you can buy the bodies and buy the necks and buy the pick guards and, that's not what I did. And there's things I still want to change. I want to change the access. I want to change the tonal transference. I want to change the neck grip shape with the fretboard and the frets. And, there's so many things that I changed that were a combination of like you said, custom things that people want to make them play better or feel more comfortable and stuff, but still not be so wacky. Like what was the one, Gittler? Remember the Gittler guitars by any chance?
That doesn't ring a bell to me.
Well, there's one in the Smithsonian. It was all done with stainless steel rods. And every fret was actually a stainless steel rod, and it had a spine that all those fret rods stuck into. And
yeah. Okay.
And it was like a brilliant piece of design engineering and art, right?
Yes.
But exactly. It's going to be like, I don't think I'm going to be playing that. So yeah, that's the thing, is trying to make those things uniquely familiar, and that's what I shoot for.
Yeah. And functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that point, when I was in the Chase shop and he said, okay, I have one here that is pretty much the thing that we're going to be moving forward with. Sitting with that, we so often, guitars aren't anything so much different than any other thing that we go like, these hurt my feet, but they look cool. Like in a good pair of shoes. Like,
you're
these
playing
are really
the guitar
rad.
wrong then.
Yeah, right. But if because we mostly look with our eyes, sometimes we forsake the playability. And we all have a guitar or two where we're like, man, it's so cool. I just don't play it that much. That's because you don't like playing it, probably, right?
Right.
But compliments to the chef here, because that is a ridiculously playable instrument. When the weight, the balance, the neck feel, where your arm sits on the body. I was really, really impressed right out of the gate, and that was before all of the details were even like sorted out from like the looks and stuff like that. I think it wasn't fully finished out, but I was like, wow, okay, I get it. I get it.
Thanks.
I get why you're doing this.
Well, all those years in the custom shop, you when people request similar things, those stick in your head, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and playability. Fender's the one thing I was always a rhythm player, so the 7 1/4 radius for me was like, cool. I'm not doing anything but playing rhythm. But everybody that I knew that played bleeds had to struggle with the 7 1/4 radius. It was like, why are we struggling? I got real wide fingers, so this the 1 5/8 nut was just too narrow. So I went with the Gibson 16875. Go with a wider nut. It's like there's things that so many times you couldn't change because it was like everybody on the Fender side would say that's sacrilege. It's got to be exact.
Blasphemy!
And it's like, yes, exactly. And the funny thing is, that's what the Elite series was supposed to be about. When we did the Elite series in mid 80s or something like that, Elite Telly and Elite Strat and stuff. Those were supposed to be saying, okay, we did the vintage reissues, so that's exactly the historic ones, even though they weren't exact. And then the Elite was supposed to take us into that next, how we saw where those things could go. And we had the Elite Telly with two basically kind of P90-ish type pickups and 4 controls more like a Les Paul and a wider fretboard. A lot of the stuff that we tried to do there that, again, was not successful. But
now you're doing
you got to keep it in mind and learn it,
Yeah. So, Chase, if you can kind of weigh in on what was the, I've talked about you on the show for many, many years now. We've been friends for a long time, and you built me my, dream guitar. And I know that historically, the thing that anyone who's worked with you or bought anything from you, you are, you've redefined the word stickler. Honestly, and that's a compliment to your craft. the amount of detail that you pay attention to something is ridiculous, and the length that you'll go to ensure that you can make that happen, not once, but multiple times, and have it be consistent, has always been something that's really impressed me about your work. For years, you've been on a mission to, like, I'm carving my way through, and I'm going to get through the muck, and people will see my work for what it is, and sometimes that's been a real struggle, like, honestly, because you're a fish in an ocean. Tell me how that was when John first got a hold of you and recognized that and said, "Hey."
I mean, it was really cool. It was a little surreal, because you kind of forget how long you've been at stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, you kind of settle into, okay, this is what we're doing here, and so it was really cool. I mean, it was neat to have someone with such a legendary status kind of look at your work and say, "Hey, that's a good egg,"
Yeah.
So it was really awesome. And it's been great too, because it's also something, being an independent builder. There's not like a team to kind of work with, in that sense of if there's a question that you have, like, you kind of just have to figure it out. And that's one of the great things about working with John now, is that if there's ever like a hiccup, or I'm like, "Hey, is there a better way to do this?" John, like, knows the way.
Yeah.
And it's typically in every sense so far, it's always been something that's just, it is 100% the best way to do it. It's great. I have a lot to learn still from him in that sense. And it's nice to still be able to grow. And as you know, same thing with the company. Like, I've always tried to, further improve stuff. Adding, at the beginning, I was stickler for everything's got to be handmade, and then, I learned how to program a robot.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, okay, wait, So it's
while you were sticking to your guns,
yeah.
Which is, like, wildly impressive as well.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool. The growth's been fun. It's allowed me to build my team out further too.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's allowed to kind of provide for more households than just my own in that regard. We've got a great team going, and it's been good to be able to kind of keep the quality there while we grow into the production mode and mindset with the business. So, there's some growing pains. Space is starting to get a little snug over there, as you've noticed the last couple of times. Like, hey, don't step on the lumber. We just got a delivery here.
Yeah.
So, but, it's been fantastic. It's really good. I've learned a lot from John, and my team's grown, and we just, it's great.
Yeah. I was, John, last time I was in the shop, I said, let's just stop for a second. Because he's telling me all about, like, hey, we're doing this, we got this. And after we had all hung out that weekend, and I said, okay, let's close your eyes and let's go back to your garage by the river with Odie Dog.
Yep.
And your absolute mindedness of, no, this is the way. There's only this way to do it. And then now look at where you are, and after meeting John, I was like, man, this is such a great match, because you guys are, I mean, you get each other, and there's huge respect both ways, and the product is fantastic.
I think what I find that I admire most with John, and I think that kind of puts us into a kindred spirit, is the idea of that it's like building guitars is awesome, but it's also like building the processes out and things like that. It's like, geeking out about making different jigs, different fixtures, different ways to kind of do things.
Yeah,
like,
because you
check
built
out how
all
I
your
did
own
this.
jigs before.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
bananas.
Yeah, I mean, we still do, and I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, actually, John sent me a really cool. We've got this. We have to turn down jack cups every once in a while, and we had like a quick discussion like 3 days later, and he's like, "Hey, you got a package coming," and I opened it up, and I've got this awesome, like, he like hand turned this piece of brass down on the lathe, and it's like this whole setup that allows me to. He created a tool for me to be able to do the processes I need to be able to do without the use of a lathe. And it was like we speak the same language. Like, I can describe something, and he can kind of like produce it, and then vice versa. He can send me stuff, and then I can reproduce it. And so it's nice. It's there's like a a bond of like the designer engineer mindset there.
Yeah.
You know, of like, hey, like we both just want to create, and I think that that's something that kind of ties us together really well.
Yeah. Well,
My shop is filled with tooling. To me, the tooling and fixtures are just as enjoyable as building the instrument, because I think about it when I design and build the tooling, and then I don't have to think about it quite so much when I'm building the guitar.
Yep.
And so I'm allowed to enjoy the guitar build a little more because I know the tooling's going to make it as accurate as I need it to. So I just threw that out there just because I wanted to.
Well, yeah. And the other thing that I noticed when we were all just hanging out for lunch, and I didn't get to spend hours on hours with John or anything, but I know Chase, and I know how much stock he puts in, like the value of character. And watching you guys, it was like watching an old Chase and a young Chase at the same time a little bit. You know,
Who's who?
Yeah, well,
That's why I had to shave.
Yeah, well, you both incredibly kind and thoughtful and focused and pursuing that, and that by definition just kind of makes you a nice person to be around. So the fact that is working together too is like, I mean, that's hard. That's really, really, really hard to find people to work with on a constant where you're putting in all your chips, and have that. So congratulations to both you guys.
Thank you. And what you know, what's going to be, what I'm sure has been tough for Chase and will continue to be tough for Chase, is that, you know, when you have your own shop and you're the final say for everything, and then, you know, some other guy comes in and says, that's not exactly how I want to do that. I want you to do it like this. That's tough, you know, and Chase has been great dealing with me, because I think we know that we both respect each other's work and each other's skills and talents, but then also there's going to be times that one of us is going to correct the other one's going to correct the other. Mm-hmm. You know, every builder I've ever worked with, I've learned from, and every builder that I've ever worked, I believe, has learned from me. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when you know, I've got like the stable I've worked with over the years is pretty freaking amazing, and Chase is part of that stable now. So that's why he's part of the company. I mean, that's why he's not just a supplier. I mean, he's part of John Page, you know, umbrella, the John Page Guitars umbrella, the company itself. So that's a pretty major move for us. We've never had that with a builder before.
So John, you rolled and said, "Here's the guitar. I need you to build these," right? And
yes, sir.
Chase,
roughly,
and Chase, you looked at it and said, "Okay,
I can build that.
I can build that." ...
Okay,
but you know, were there refinements that you guys had to like work out or say, oh, well, maybe there's a better way to do this, or supplying issues or anything like that came up?
I mean, I had a handful of hiccups. John was helpful for me because, you know, growth. He turned me on to some new suppliers. So, for instance, we've got a great wood guy that we're getting our blanks from, so we can source stuff and order specifically weighted blanks, which is really nice. So that was something that, moving into somebody with his background, we were able to kind of like move into that. As far as the drawings, when the drawings come in, I get kind of like a drawings package from John, and then I'll go through and start kind of prototyping stuff out. And I think on the AJ and a couple of other things, I had to refine. On my end, I had made some flaws in the 3D model, so I had to rework one of the belly cuts early on, and recently we're working out the muling stuff. So actually we did that while John was in town, so that was kind of cool to have him in person so we could kind of lay stuff out. And actually that's one of the things where it is nice to work with John, talking about the relationship of kind of give and take there. That's the first time that I ever kind of approached and said, hey, I got your drawing and I did it this way, but I think maybe if we nudge something a little bit this way, and he was super receptive to it, and we talked about, you know, design stuff in that regard and kind of worked it out. So it's great that, you know, he's always open to listening to suggestions as well. I mean, at the end of the day, it's John's name on the headstock, and we're going to make sure that we're giving you exactly what John would be making you. So there's always, you know, that that's the end game there. But it's nice to know that if I have suggestions that I'm expected to come forward with them so we can talk, and instead of worrying that like I don't want to rock the boat, so it's great. Like it's a really healthy relationship in that regard. With the design elements, if I have questions or concerns, like we can talk it out and get to the bottom of it pretty quickly.
Cool.
And it's a little tough for Chase because I'm still old school. I still draw on a drawing table with French curves and a pencil, because that's what I've done forever. And although I do a lot of stuff on the computer now, smaller design work, I still don't do my guitar design on the computer. So Chase has to take my pencil drawings and then convert those to computer programming. So that's a lot more work for him than a lot of guys now, young guys that have been doing this, the last couple of decades might be designing straight on the computer and then just sending somebody a file. I don't do that. So that's a tougher one for Chase to deal with. But that's how I build. I mean, and then after I design it, then I make the prototypes, and then so not only does Chase get a drawing package, but also a prototype to hopefully follow off of in creating that instrument. And lots of times my prototypes aren't exactly where they should be, and so I have to say, okay, we're going to pop that back another 1/16 of an inch or so, I think, or he'll come back to me and say, oh well, with these strings we should do this, and so there's a lot of back and forth to dial it in for a I'm going to say quantity production, even though it's not really production by any means, but
now,
more than one.
Can people, obviously they can see what's on the website. Are you doing special colors for artists or anything that is, I guess pushing the limits of where you're at currently?
I don't think we're pushing the limits to anything. We're just, it's we're just saying the artists come in, if they like the instrument and they go, and they say, boy, that'd be really cool. Well, Matt Muehlin, I think, is a great example. The Ashburn was the first instrument I put into the classic line 10 years ago. I've always looked at tremolos as tone suckers for me personally. I don't like tremolos in instruments because of the tone I'm looking for in a guitar. But they are a necessary tool to a lot of players. And in Matt's case, he does most of his playing backwards. He does a back pull on him, right? Up pitch, a back pull. And so that's why we developed the recess route for him, and trying to figure out how to float that just enough and taper the underneath just enough to do that. So it's more like that's what we'll do with an artist. And he says, I'd like to have a middle pickup. I like the double humbuckers. I want to pull back. So we'll do things. Wouldn't call it pushing the envelope by any means. It's just doing the kind of thing that Chase or I would do in our custom shops for a customer if they requested it. We'll see what happens down the line, as far as pushing things. But that uniquely familiar design mantra, not only aesthetically but functionality wise too, I think is pretty deeply embedded in our philosophy. But never know, where the next hair up the butt will come from. So
yes, that is one of the surprises in life.
Yes. Ooh, what was that? Yeah, I got an idea.
So, John, what are there any new designs, new models coming out, new options?
Well, actually, I touched on it a couple of times, but we have a new Matt Muehlin version of the Ashburn that we're going to be releasing at the January NAMM show, which is a pretty mega thing. We're real excited about that coming out because Matt's just such an amazing player with Sir Woman and all the other bands he's been playing with, the Homies, and the Kill Tony band, but he never gets a chance to really shine on that, I don't think.
I don't like the name of that band.
Yeah, there's that. But I think that's more of a bias you might personally have. So the rest of us are pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
I think Todd's fine with it.
Yeah, well, we have our moments when
Chase was
I
fine
protect
with it.
Tony at all costs.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's the 20th anniversary of John Page guitars. So
That's cool.
For me personally, I would like to do a special model for that. We're going to see. There's so much stuff we've got going on. I don't know if we got time to create something new, but I'm already in the midst of multiple design parts of that. And then one of the things I've been working on mostly for the last 10 years or 8 years or so is my art guitars. I do these really intensely intricate high dollar art guitars. I don't even call them art. They're not really art guitars. They're playable art. They're art first and then guitars. And Retablo is the last one I did, and I'm working on a documentary for that. And I'm actually going to be showing that for the first time, the instrument for the first time at NAMM in January. So it'll be
nice,
real in life. So that's cool. And then and we got a lot of shows next year. We're doing the Nashville show in April, which is like one of the biggest consumer shows, and Dallas again, like we did this year. So another huge consumer show. So
awesome.
Just out there running around, telling people what we're doing, showing off Chase's work. Yeah.
So where can people get these, and what can they expect in that process?
Well, if they go to johnpageguitars.com, it shows all the guitars that are currently available, and any queries they might have about anything that's not available, they can just hit us up on the info bar and send us an email.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, I guess that's that's kind of it-ish. Yeah. Well, Tony.
It-ish.
It-ish.
I like that.
It is time to go.
It-ish.
Rounding third, heading home.
Hey.
And we got a little something that we do here.
Okay.
Called.
Yes, Todd.
Would you
Did I mention I'm getting tired of that?
Did you? Are you really?
I am.
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm sorry.
I hate that you love that.
You guys see a sample of Jared doing
That is
it.
That is Jared.
That is Jared
Yes.
doing it? What have you done to that? Is that
Yeah,
auto-tune?
sped it up a little bit.
Sped it up
Oh.
like Jiminy Cricket.
That's funny.
People love it.
That's
I
the first
think.
time I've heard it, and I'm tired of it.
Oh, dear.
I'm kidding. I'm just being a dick.
All right. So,
Would you
my finger slipped. Tony, go ahead.
Sure.
Yes, Todd. This week's Would You Rather is kind of a play on what we did last time we got together.
Yeah, we got a couple of these coming up.
Yeah. So if you remember.
And it happens to tie in what we talked about towards the beginning of the show.
Yes, it does. So in this is the scenario.
Yes.
In this Would You Rather, you go back in time into the studio as producer supreme Bruce Dickinson. You know,
Yes.
the guy with more cowbell?
Yes.
That's him. And you tell the engineer to keep the recording on the outro solo for at least a minute or two longer. And it doesn't impact the original recording of the song, but it will allow fans to hear an alternate long version that might contain even more guitar brilliance.
Yes. The engineer is strapped to his chair with a gag and his zip-tied hands because they were too close to the faders.
They were, and then he's got the eye-opening things from
Yes.
Clockwork Orange.
Yes.
We don't like that engineer. He doesn't like us either. So last week, if you remember, it was choosing between the outro for Comfortably Numb
Yes.
or Sultans of Swing.
Yes.
This week's Would You Rather hear the longer outro guitar solo for Boom, Led Zeppelin, Good Times, Bad Times, or would you rather hear an extended outro for Guns N' Roses, Night Train?
Okay. Ooh. Wait, hang on, Chase. He's already got his mind made up. All right, that was a really good one. Thanks, Bruce Bacon, for sending
Bruce
that in.
Bacon.
Bruce.
Yes, I forgot
Okay.
to mention that was Bruce Bacon.
All right. Tony, you lead off. We're going to go to Chase, then John, then myself.
Yeah, I tell you, both of those have good outros and solos in the middles too,
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff. But I'm gonna have to defer to Sir Jimmy on this one. I mean, Good Times, Bad Times, outro solo, keep it going.
Yeah.
Let it roll for 25 minutes.
Okay.
I could, and he could do it.
Yeah.
So
I believe that.
So I'm going with
Chase is chewing his face off right now.
Oh, he wants to talk so
Okay,
badly.
go
I'm going to
ahead.
keep talking though.
Chase, go ahead.
No, it's just funny because we have this beater with a heater car, and it has like a 6-disc CD changer.
Yeah.
And one of the CDs in there is the Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits. So I am all for give me some more Slash.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That's fair.
With or without top hat? Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's when, I mean, you got to go in with when it was created, you know. Or John, how about yourself?
I got to go with Jimmy Page just because of the last name.
Fair play. I think we are evenly balanced on the islands. I'm going to go with Slash on that one too. That's a incredible song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
that's
powerful.
that is
Night
a
Train.
tough.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's a tough
It's a foot
decision.
stomper.
Yeah, for sure.
It's speeding tickets.
Yeah, yeah. And that was, that's him in his absolute prime.
Yep.
So, anyways, all right. Well, that was interesting and balanced. and honestly, I think it's fair to say that either of us would enjoy the other's island for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could handle that.
Yeah. Great one, Bruce. Nice going. All right. So thank yous are in order, Tanya.
You're right, Todd, because at this point of the show, there's a special group of people that we love to thank. These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become one? Easy as pie. Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate.
Yes.
Become a sponsor, a friend, a hero, if you will,
Yes.
of the podcast.
And with Mike Nazionale vacating his gilded position there,
That's true.
for all the right reasons in the world.
Yes,
We got some vacancies to spill
that's right. So
fill.
please,
or spill.
or spill,
Yeah,
fill,
spill yourself into that
Yeah.
and fill it up.
drill, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So you threw me off
I'm
course.
really glad you
you threw me
kicked
off
back
course.
in. I thought I broke you right there.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
You did kind of break me.
So
So-
this is what happens.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
That's what happens.
Yes.
In addition to all that great stuff, you get your name read on the thing. That's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer Effects, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Plutone, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Barazin, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, and Vaderin Peddle.
Outstanding.
Oh, but wait, Todd, there's
Oh,
more
all
because there is a special group of executive producers. We call them our Grand Poobahs.
Yes.
These are the top of the heap, the A number ones. And you know what? They get a fez to wear on their head.
They do. Yes. There's one hanging right.
We've
right
got
beside
an
me right
example right there. So,
Yes.
yes, a fez is included with
Yes.
this level. So, special thanks to these Grand Poobahs: Anthony Jamalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, a Mike Nazionale.
now. Yes.
Who's that?
One last time.
One last time for the Mike Nazionale.
Yes.
Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, and Ty Barnes.
Yes.
Thank you, and more thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Keeping the wheels moving. We cannot do this without you.
No,
And we
wouldn't want to.
So grateful. Yes. Yes. That's the way I think about you, Tony. I'm dead serious. I think about that all the time, honestly.
Yes.
I'm going to take 1 second and say, I can't say thank you enough because I look forward to this every week. Thank you.
Here's what you can do. you can write thank you on a $50 bill every week and give it to me.
Okay. if that'll keep you in the seat, then I would do that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to say a colossal thank you to John Page and Chase Gullett for joining us. Guys, where can people go to see your respective works? John?
Well, you can see my work at either John Page Classic or John Page Guitars. John Page Guitars is my art stuff at this point.
Yes. And I think you said it's soon to be just John Page Guitars. Am I correct?
Yeah, everything will be under the John Page umbrella, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We're just making some web changes right now.
Gotcha. And also go see you at the shows you talked about, NAMM, Dallas,
NAMM show,
Tennessee.
Dallas Guitar Show, a Nashville Guitar Show. Yeah, we're going to be out and about the States next year.
Excellent.
I mean, you're doing a whole speaking panel at NAMM, correct? If I remember.
Oh, we're doing National Media Day, which is kind of cool. I mean, I guess there's only like 8 or 10 companies that get to do that, like Gibson and Paul Reed Smith and stuff. And we're going to be one of them. I'll be one of the chatty Cathys up there on National Media Day. So
excellent.
That's a hoot.
We should. We'll probably hoping we'll be there for that. So
yeah, we should be seeing all the influencers out there. So
yeah. Chase, go ahead.
My stuff, you could find it on gullettguitar.com. It's spelled just like mullet, but with a G, 2 L's, 2 T's. Yeah, man, let's clap that one.
Interesting.
No, I'm leaving that in. Are you crazy?
No, that's priceless. Just like Billy Ray.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Party in the front.
We'll leave. No, you.
Why are we gonna clap that?
No, I'm not clapping. We're leaving it. All right, Tony.
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make custom pick arts for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do. And I'll make something very special for you. Mm-hmm. It's your chance to make your guitar even more yours.
Circle R. Okay. All right. You can shoot me an email at todd@theguitarknobs.com, or better yet, shoot me a DM on Instagram and tell us all the things that you want to tell us. You can talk to us about anything.
How about some would you rathers?
How about some would you rathers?
Do you think you can top Bruce Bacon?
Or Bob Crouch, who are the two biggest contributors to that? I think maybe your goal isn't even to top. Just join the group, man.
Yeah.
Just be in the same sentence as those fellas. You know what I'm saying? All right. We had a great time. We hope you did too. And we look forward to the next one. In the meantime, have a fantastic Guitar Week and subscribe! We are about to join, gentlemen. You know what that reminds me of? Trust in me. Oh, yeah. Trust in me. Mowgli.
I don't know what that's from.
What's even weirder, it's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, man.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah,
the
same
voice,
guy.
only with a.
Hang on a second. It sounds like we got somebody at the door. Ghosts?
Who dat? You wanna should break his legs?
Yeah, I would. I'd like to see that.
Or tell you what, I'll just take his pinky off so he can't hit all the notes.
I'm hydrating only.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Because I'm going to get back on the pin ratter after this, so.
Oh yeah, he wants to keep all his fingers.
Got to keep that conscious brain going.
Right. Oh, so mushroom tea. Perfect.
Yeah.
Just aim
I
for
want
the
to
one
guess
in the
that
middle.
it's the. That's it. I want to guess it's the cutter in the middle.
Hiss is in. He's got his head in the balloon.
Oh,
and
that's right. Yeah.
he's spinning.
Final mix.
It's really weird looking at Chase because I haven't seen him with a shaved face in maybe
Oh, that's what's
What?
different about him.
maybe
Yeah.
What?
9 years.
Yeah, I was getting a little dry, so I shaved it.
So
And
you
it
decided
made
to share that with the rest
no,
of us.
it made
That's
it
great.
worse. It made it worse. Like
There's
like
lubricant
2 days
for
ago.
that.
Grab a drink, let the dog out, use the John, for the restroom. Sorry, and or do whatever. That wasn't
Okay, well,
intentional.
I'm gonna have to take a Todd if I do.
that honestly was not intentional.
That was awesome. That was
I
a
always
good
call it a
comeback.
Todd.
Yeah.
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 Phew,
Okay.
Who took the Todd? Yeah, it's all good.
Oh, I stepped in Todd again. Oh, great.
Never get that stink out.
Yes. And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.